He is the founder of OB Porters, a motivational nonprofit, and Bridging the Gap, an opportunity to share reading materials with those with less access. He also teaches mindfulness at the Boys and Girls Club in Albemarle County Schools. So can we all give Mac a big hand?
Good evening or good afternoon, everyone. I am Mac McClellan, and first and foremost, I want to say Sawubona. And Sawubona is the Zulu way of saying hello. And so the Zulu people, if you do not know, are from South Africa. And when they greet one another, it's just not hello, but it's I see you. And so when I am up here today for this celebration of you all, I want you to know that I see you. So Sawubona. So again, we're here to celebrate you all. And we're here to talk about resilience. Resilience is an ability to recover from or adjust to misfortune or change. And so many of us in our life have experienced misfortune and experienced change, but we don't always feel resilient. So one of the things that we're going to discuss is how to find that resilience in ourselves, but then how to spread it and keep it in a community. So I like to do things with the audience and not just stand up here and talk at people. So if I could have a couple volunteers just raise their hands. Anybody going to volunteer? Sir, you will come up. Well, please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Dimitri Chapman. We're here at the Holiday Inn Conference, Region 10.
All right. Young lady, you introduce yourself.
Angela, peer support specialist at Region 10.
Sarah Casino at Region 10.
All right, so we have three people, different genders, different ages. Sir, would you mind sharing what resilience means to you?
Resilience is like a light, a bright light, like the lime of the light. Reminds me of going forward, progressing, doing the right thing, getting meetings up any hour of the night. You know, it can be at rehab or on our own, or anywhere else. So on our own is a place where you can go to. Resilience.
Okay.
Resilience for me is strength, patience, understanding, love for self, patience for self, care for self.
Resilience to me means enhancement. Like improvement can be anywhere, anytime, any place. Just always never giving up, keep pushing forward, keep making things better and better for yourself and your family.
All right. Does anyone else identify with one of the definitions of resilience? Yeah. If you do, please raise your hand. So thank you all. You all may have a seat. So I want to go off the first definition. A light. Resilience is a light. Don't forget that you are shining. If you're going to be resilient, if you're going to recover from or adjust to a misfortune, you have to be a light. You have to shine. The other thing that the young man said that was very important is he said he goes to group meetings. He does not do this on his own. Too often we feel as though we have to be resilient by ourselves. And when we're resilient by ourselves, many times we harden ourselves. And we think that is resilience. Something has happened in my life, so I'm now hardened myself. My adjustment isn't the understanding of what happened or allowing myself to move through this and move forward. I just harden myself. And when you do that, you take away your own light. So So you have to work with others to make sure that when you're resilient, you're doing it the right way. You're keeping your heart soft. The young lady said, the strength and knowledge of self. You have to be strong in order to be resilient. Everyone in here is strong. Please know that. You would not be strong if you weren't sitting here. Your strength, your desire to come here, whatever got you out of bed this morning to this conference shows your strength. So please remember that. And then providing for your family, making sure your family is good. Again, we oftentimes forget about other people when it comes to resilience. When something happens in your life, it doesn't just affect you. It affects everybody in your household. It affects everybody that loves you. So your resilience is actually important to everybody around you. So we got to make sure that we include them as we're building ourselves. So I love the Zulu people. I really study them. Shaka Zulu. Anybody ever seen Shaka Zulu? Everybody ever heard of Shaka Zulu? African King, Zulu King. People know about Shaka Zulu because Shaka Zulu was such a great warrior king. But what people don't know about Shaka Zulu is he created a community of people that came from different nations. Even people from nations that warred against him, he welcomed them. And he didn't just say, okay, you can come in and you can be at the bottom of our society. He said, you can be equal. You can move up in the army or the civil service the way my people of Zululand can move up. So he was giving people resilience before there was even a word in English for it. You can come from a different nation. You may have warred against me, but you can move up. You are equal with me. We were all created for each other. And he understood that. So when he built community, he accepted all. Please realize Charlottesville accepts you. Region 10 accepts you. We have to make sure that we accept each other. I accept you and I hope you accept me. And I really appreciate the fact that you are allowing me to come and speak. So with the Zulu, there's a word that I love to use, and it is Samunye. Samunye means we are one. And so when I teach in schools, I came in schools with the notion to teach mindfulness. And mindfulness is also an understanding you and working at your strength and building your resilience. But then I realized that we really need each other if we're going to continue on in resilience and be successful at it. So Samunye, I created a way to just take this word and bridge it out and use it. And so there's a poem that goes along with it. And the poem is, I am me, I am free, but I need you and you need me. So when you think about this and we step back and say, let's take each line, I am me. I am an individual person, but the first thing I am is a human being. Now, I am free to express myself in a way that is not harmful to you or anyone else. Whether it's my hair, my clothes, the languages that I speak, the food that I eat. It can even be the country where I was born, if not America, somewhere else. I am free to express that and express myself without doing you harm. But I need you. I need you to accept me for who I am. To accept me in my expressions. I need you for that. Because as I go through life, I want to be a part of a community. It's very rare that people say, I just want to be by myself all of the time. We just weren't made that way. So I need you to see me and accept me. And you need me for the same reason. You need to be able to come anywhere and see me and say, hey man, how are you? And we can have a conversation about anything. We can talk about resilience. We can talk about how great Region 10 is. We can talk about how great the Baltimore Ravens are, and I hope that everybody, thank you. And that's okay. Because most likely those are Steelers fans, and you all know what happened.
Yeah, I'm a Redskins fan.
So we can talk about anything. And it be with love. The Bulls are with love. Yeah. And I understand it. And I love it. And those conversations are so important. And they make you feel a part of something.
Yeah.
We're not here to harm each other. We're here to have great conversations.
Yeah.
And so the people with whom you can do this are the people with whom you practice Samunye. Please understand, Samunye is not about being friends with everyone. Because people who intend to bring you harm are not practicing it. So you do not practice it with them. You do not give them any harm back, but you separate yourself. Part of resilience is understanding when to do that. You will be hurt by other people. Many times unintentionally. We've all done it. We have hurt someone unintentionally. Whether we lie or anything of that nature. Sometimes we lie not to hurt people. But we have to realize and recognize when someone intentionally hurts us repeatedly, and that is their motive, and when someone has hurt us unintentionally, but truly loves us. So when we recognize those things, we practice Samunye with them. We make sure that we let those people know that we still are one. We will work together. And so as we work together, it's not just the fact that we're all working to move forward. We all have the same goals. We're working together because we're all human. Even if our goals are different, we work together. So raise your hand if you have any symptoms. All right? Put your hands down. Raise your hand if you have 2 or more symptoms. All right, so if you have 2 or more symptoms, could you please come to this side of the room? Yeah, I'm making it interactive. Okay, so if you have 1, or if you have 2 or more brothers and sisters, you're here. If you only have 1 brother or sister, you're at the back. If you have no brothers, no sisters, you're here. Now, when you look around the people, or look around and see the people beside you, what are the similarities? Okay, look at their physical appearance. What's similar?
We're all different. We're all different.
You're all different?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 legs.
In the back. Okay, we all have heads, arms, legs. Okay, in the back. What are all the physical similarities that you all have? What are all the cultural similarities that you all have? All right. Over here, there are 4 people who do not have siblings. What are all of the familial similarities that you have? When I say familial, what are all the same things that you all did in your families, in your household?
Church.
So here's the thing. Look around and see the people close to you. While we look physically different, we have a couple things in common here today. But the most important thing is we're all human.
Yeah.
And so if you ever need a group of people, you can always just ask, hey, does anybody have 2 or more siblings? Because I guarantee you all had fights about certain things with those siblings.
Yes, indeed.
That someone in here can relate. He said, man, I remember that one time my brother took my Cheerios. And then he told my sister, don't say anything about it. Yeah, man, I had a brother who took my marshmallows. And my sister didn't tell me. And in the back, you're like, I had no idea about any of this. If somebody took something, I knew exactly who it was. And to the side, you took everything. You're looking at your parents saying, it wasn't me, I don't know. So, we can group one another in so many different ways. We can stand together. We're standing together, right? Yeah. Doesn't matter how you look. Doesn't matter your gender. Doesn't matter your race. Doesn't matter your sexual identity. Does not matter your religion. Does not matter the languages that you speak. We can stand together as a group. Now, if everybody would do one more thing for me, everyone who is resilient, would you please move to the back?
Still standing, right? Sit up.
Everyone that is resilient.
You're still standing.
Be honest with yourself. If you do not believe you're resilient, yes. The key word is yes. If you do not believe you're resilient yet, please come. Now, I applaud you all because you may not feel resilient, but you are brave. You are brave. And being brave is a part of being resilient.
I know.
So, to be resilient, you must adjust, learn to recover. And the best thing is when you look out, you see people who've done it. You see people who are there. They haven't finished. The one young lady said, I work daily at staying resilient. But here is your family. Here is your recovery group and system. I can say, do this to become resilient, do that to become resilient, and it may or may not work. You must learn what works for you as a personal human being, but support is universal. So what I would encourage everyone in the back to do right now is if you all would not mind coming up and introducing yourself to these people and just letting them know that you support them in their resilience and let them know you are here for them. Would you mind? Please introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Hi, Mike.
So I just
Resilient. You're awesome, man.
that was beautiful. Support is what we all need, truly. We crave it, even though sometimes we don't think we want it, we crave it. You know, there are times where, you know, you're down and you don't want a hug, and when you get that hug, you melt into that person. So, my three who are unsure of whether or not they're resilient at the moment, I ask you this, and this is a rhetorical question. What would make you feel as though you were resilient? And I want you to think about this. And I don't necessarily want you to say this to me. I want you to really give thought into this. If you feel as though resiliency is about a light shining, if you feel as though it's about strength or moving forward, if you have any of those things, you are resilient. Or you have all three. You may want to work towards all three, but you don't need it all. Resiliency is us building. And as we build, we continue to grow. So if you saw someone out here, and you met someone, or someone hugged you and shook your hand, that you feel could help you, please make sure that you get in contact with them by the end of today and exchange email addresses or something, so you have someone, at least one more person to support you. Thank you all for being brave to come up here. When you do it the right way, it can save someone's life. Yes. So that is why I practice Simunye. Again, I'll go back to the poem. I am me. I think this way. It does not matter if somebody else has my same exact name there. Too often, people say, oh, my name is John. There's a million Johns out there, so, you know, I'm not that unique. You are. You are the only you. Regardless of the label, the name that you are given, you are a unique individual. So you have to accept I am me. And sometimes the acceptance of self is the hardest part. We look at ourselves in the mirror. The one thing that we do very well is break ourselves down. I can tell you everything I don't like about myself. Every mistake I've ever made. I can't tell you all the great things I've done though. I'm gonna name a couple good things that I've done here and there, and I'll downplay it. The mistake? Man, I messed up so bad this time. Rarely do you hear somebody say, man, I was so successful this time. Let me tell you how great of a job I did at this. Let me tell you how awesome I am. People don't do that. And a lot of times we look at people and they're like, what? But it's good to do that. So I am me. Acceptance of self. And one of the things that I do, that I advise people to never tell somebody that they have to do something, I advise them 2 times a day, at least, bare minimum. Wake up, wash your face, brush your teeth, look into that mirror, and that person that you see in that mirror, you say to that person, I love you. You're going about your day. Come at the end of the day, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you look at that person like, oh, I saw you this morning, and I wanted to tell you, I love you again. Some people say, well, I don't love myself. There's a certain saying that people in Hollywood who want to be actors do. And they say, yo, you got to fake it till you make it. If you don't love yourself right now, cool. You are not alone. But look in that mirror and see that person in there. Tell that person, I love you. And keep saying it until you start to feel it. And then sometimes you might want to ask that person, if you don't believe me, what would make you believe that I love you? We'll ask them deeply. When we meet somebody and say, I love you, then they say, you don't love me. How can I prove it? Why don't you prove it to yourself? That's the first and most important person you need to love and prove your love. So I am free to express myself. Again, sometimes I make it easier by saying the clothes that I wear, the languages that I love and want to speak, the cultures. But also, just engage. I am free to be. I am free to be here. I am free to exist. Sometimes we don't even feel free to exist. It feels like every breath that we take, we have to get permission for it. You are free to breathe. You are free to live. Take that freedom and run with it. Move every day with the joy and happiness that you are free to be. And that's it. Again, I need you to accept me in me. Just accept me because accept me because I'm going to beat myself up. Far worse than being that. Accept me because you understand my struggle. Accept me because your smile, your hug, your handshake could be the difference of life and death for me. And you need me for the same thing. I see you. Do you see yourself? So again, when I say Samuya, we are one. It is more than we are one people in this world. We're one people striving toward a similar goal, maybe the same thing. We are one human race. We need each other. So if we can say this all together, I am me.
I am me.
I am free.
I am free.
But I need you.
I need you.
And you need me.
And you need me.
Samuya.
Samuya.
Thank you all for your time.
Let's give Mac another hand. They all came out today. In spite of the weather, it's very cold and very wet. But it was a great conference. I feel really good.